begin with an ad. Outstanding Black college students wanted for amazing journey in corporate America. High wages, challenging opportunities, long hours, change is constant, toughness required, great success, fulfillment, and sense of accomplishment are possible. Hello, you talented young people. This is Daryl Mulvey, president of Catapult Leaders. Catapult Leaders works with you to assist you in getting the corporate America job of your dreams. If you want to work in business, you want to work at the highest levels and go to one of the best companies and let them train you and you become better and better and better, Catapult Leaders is here to help you. I want to share with you my thoughts on what every Black college student should know about a career in corporate America. A little bit about corporate America that you need to understand upfront. At the end of the day, corporate America is like a cake. We all can make a cake, some from scratch, some from directions, but we all can make a cake. The cake we make, much like a career in corporate America, is only as good as you make it. It's not some perfect place with perfect people, perfect all the time, and neither are you. But if you approach it the right way, if you understand what it means to be in that arena and that excites you, energizes you, corporate America is a great place to be. I began my experiences in business in corporate America, and it was fabulous. Had a great time. Was challenged a lot, met a lot of great and interesting people, became a lot better at the business of business. I really enjoyed it. So right now, I'm going to go through some things off the top of my head about what every Black college student should know about a career in corporate America. Let's get started. The first thing I want to cover off is what kind of jobs hire college graduates like you. Now, you may be a student in college looking forward to graduation. You might be a recent graduate, or you might be a grad school student looking forward to work as well. So, what kind of jobs are there available to you? First of all, this is a major area and a major question that we get. Let me go through some jobs for you that you may not have thought of. Most hopefully you have. Number one, in no particular order, by the way, is that there are a ton of jobs in the sales and business development area. Now, to get full details on these jobs that I tell you, you need to engage with the different material we have at Catapult Leaders that you can go through. Our modules, one of our modules will actually talk about more than one of our modules. We'll talk about each of these areas and what the benefits are to you. But let me just kind of top line them right here. So there's sales and business development. There's engineering. For those of you who want to pursue the engineering track in corporate America, there's logistics and supply chain. And I got to tell you, that's a key part of every growing company in corporate America now is the logistics and supply chain folks. They hire for IT, information technology. So for those of you out there who are into that world, studying that, that's what you want to do, boy, there are a lot of jobs for that. Brand management and marketing is kind of its own separate thing in that you're in the business then of growing, nurturing, and developing the product, the services that your company offers. Your software engineering. You know who you are out there, you computer science people. Software engineering is big, right? Technology and everything. It's a major part of business and they're hiring for that. Manufacturing. I've had a lot of great friends when I entered corporate America who entered the manufacturing world. And the manufacturing world for the entry level professional positions that we talk about in Catapult Leaders is not where you yourself are making something, but what you're doing is you're working within a system, an environment, a plant where things are being made and you become manager of that area. You learn about all the ins and outs of taking nothing and turning it into something, making something of value to customers. Pretty exciting world. Business analysis. For those of you who like jumping into numbers and seeing what the data will tell you behind the numbers and understanding how better to grow and to develop and to evolve a product or service with customers, or that business analysis is a great place to be. Finance and accounting. So you know who you're out there, you finance and accounting people. If you love that, lots of opportunity there. Operations. What does operations mean? Again, to not go into too much detail, operations is where you're working on just that, the operations of a business, the internal operations of a business for smooth functioning, for efficient functioning. It's a very, how do I say, intellectually challenging place to be. Operations. A lot of great people go in there and come out of there. Project management, big these days, right? For the same reason that logistics and supply chain is big, project management has become a big, big thing. You know, gone are the days where somebody had an idea for a new product or service and everybody just kind of ran around and did what they wanted. That is inefficient and ineffective in today's world. So we have project managers in the project management field. Account management. You know, nothing happens unless a client and a provider get together and agree. And the account managers, the folks who go down that track in life, and there are a lot of areas where you can do that. It's not simply one type of business. Those folks are really, really, really working with the client to stay aligned with the client to make sure that what their company does, they're being the service provider, the company that's working for the client, what they're doing is aligned with a client who understands and buys into the process and what's going on. Again, more on that in a later webinar and podcast from us. Purchasing. You know, if you don't buy stuff, you can't make stuff, right? If you're a company, you know, let's say that you are a major oil company or you're a major any of these companies. You look at the Fortune 500, they all produce products and or services for customers, right? Well, they have to buy stuff to make their stuff. Without purchasing, the engine won't go. Very big area. Advertising. Oh my goodness, advertising. An exciting area for some of you. If you're into that world, the world of creating and managing the imagery, personality of brands via the world of media, then advertising business is for you. Research and development is just that, research and development in the service of producing better products that align with customer desires. Consumer and market insights. Like we were talking just about R&D there, right? These folks really stay close, stay attuned to what the customer, the end customer really, really wants. And there are a lot of ways that you learn to uncover that information. But that's what the consumer and market insights people do. That field is big, booming, growing, and great. Quality assurance, just what it says. You got to make sure that what you're producing meets the standards that are set for it. Quality assurance, exciting area there. Hotel administration, for those of you who find it exciting, that world of fulfilling the needs of the customers who come and go into resorts and hotels and all this wonderful stuff. Those folks, there's the big field. I mean, in many, many areas of the country and indeed the world, one of the biggest industries there is the one dealing with traveling customers. So hotel administration is huge. And again, hotel administration, the type of jobs that Catapult Leaders connects you with are those professional jobs where they're designed to grow and develop as a manager, not as a manager of a single hotel or anything like that, but rather within the system. The hotel business, the lodging industry is huge. There are a lot, it's a major, major business. Takes a lot of great managers to make it go. That's what hotel administration is all about. The design world. The design has an umbrella of a lot of things. There are folks who design packaging. There are folks who design products. There are folks who design layouts. And design is a big umbrella underneath it, the opportunity to be creative and design a lot of things. Human resources, perhaps one of the more important areas that the folks are hiring for. You have human resources professionals whose task it is to find the people, source the people, and then to place the people in the right spaces within the organization. Super important. And then there's consulting. For some companies, they are looking for folks they can add into their consulting practice. Company that's involved in consulting provides its services to a client, another company, regarding how to do something better, how to do something you haven't done before, how to fix something, how to make it more efficient, how to make it more effective. There are a lot of areas there, but consulting can be an exciting area and fast paced. Those are areas in which jobs are booming around corporate America. We covered about everything. Those jobs you heard apply to every single industry out there. So you're not limited to industry A or industry B because you want to be in finance, or you want to be in brand, or you want to be in IT, or it doesn't matter. The industries, all industries now need those kinds of jobs filled, and that's why those jobs are booming. I want to talk a bit here about leadership and why, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, with regard to the kind of positions that catapult leaders can help you get placed in, it's important that you be seen as a leader. You be seen as a leader when you are interviewing, and you be seen as a leader as you grow within the organization. Here's why: because that's where the rewards are. The better you are as a leader, the more impact and the better your impact will be on an organization. We deal a lot with leadership, self leadership, leadership of others during our training, our modules. Here's what every interviewer knows: the best predictor of your future success is what you've done in the past, period. That doesn't mean that you need to have done everything in the past that you want to do in the future. What it means is you need to have shown in your past to get the great corporate America jobs. You need to have shown via your past prior to that job that you are a person who can make a difference, that you are a person who can work with others, that you are a person who, when challenged, can rise to the challenge, that you're intellectually curious, that you're thirsty for more information, more knowledge. You need to show those things beforehand. One thing you don't do is you don't get the interview and then not have anything in your resume that allows you to be truly considered for that job. That's not when we place you for interviews with folks. You have shown us that you have the things that client wants. That's important to remember. That's a key part of this equation. Nobody's giving out jobs for free, but they are giving out jobs for what I call potential. My next topic: what kind of salary can you expect in corporate America? The way to think about it is, obviously every company in corporate America and every position can have different salary ranges. So I'm not here to talk about specific salary ranges. What I am here to talk about is the concept that when you prepare yourself in college, when you interview well, then you increase the upward pressure on the salary offer, the offer you're given when people are willing to pay you. Here's the deal about the very best of corporate America. We all see these athletes, professional athletes, come out of college or wherever, and they're offered these huge salaries. And we say, wow, how is that possible that this person who's not even played at that level yet gets that salary offer? Here's how it's possible: those teams are paying based on the potential of that athlete. Potential, meaning that they believe the athlete that they have drafted can turn into a superstar. They project that. They believe that with their training, with their environment, with the right team around the athlete, that athlete can turn into a really serious contributor to success for that team. And so they pay them based on potential. Honestly, it's the same in corporate America. You will receive a salary when you join the right company that is based upon what your potential is in the eyes of that company. So you have to do everything possible when you're interviewing in college. All these things you put together, but your resume will capture it all, that says you are a person of incredibly high potential. And so what happens is they'll pay you, as I like to say, with a smile on my face, more than you deserve at that point, because they're banking on the fact that with training and development, being in their company and being an assertive, aggressive, intellectually curious person, that you can help make their company better. You want to join an organization that pays you a salary based on your potential, not on who you are right now. Because who you are right now at this stage is, in all likelihood, not someone who is ready for prime time at the highest level. In other words, you're not going to change the fortunes of a company day one or week one or whatever. With time in the company, with continued personal and professional development, you can become that superstar. And that's when it pays out for them. That's how you should think about salaries in corporate America. Your future in corporate America is bright. That's the next area. What is the future like company? What is it going to be like? People ask us all the time. Your future in corporate America is super bright based on what you make of it. It's going to be challenging. Yes. There are going to be long days. Yes. Long hours. Yes. Depending on what you do, could be a lot of travel, which is exciting for some. It was exciting for me. Your future can be great You have to know how to win in corporate America. Every former student that we place in jobs, we offer career coaching ongoing. Career coaching is valuable. How valuable is it? Virtually every CEO, in fact, I don't know of a CEO or senior manager at a large corporation who does not have an executive coach, a career coach. I don't know of a person who doesn't. Why? Because it's valuable to have someone who's oriented towards your success and a trusted voice that you can turn to when things are curious to you, when things are challenging, when it comes to should I take this job or that job, this opportunity, that opportunity, what does my boss mean? How do I handle this situation? We provide career coaching to you from the moment you join a company that we placed you with. We want you to succeed. That's why we do that. Really important that you understand that your future is dependent upon how you develop, your attitude, and what you know. We're there as a resource for you. All you gotta do is pick up the phone or send a message, and you have contact with me or one of our many great career coaches. Another question that we get has to deal with whether or not the degree you have will allow you to get a great job. At the end of the day, for the vast majority of great opportunities out there, your degree doesn't matter. In other words, whether you are a history major or a sociology major, no one cares. If you want to be an accountant, then obviously you need to have a degree in accounting. If you want to be a software engineer, having computer science studies and the degree is important. Obviously, if you want to be a lawyer, those are very specific. But most opportunities have nothing to do with your degree. Sociology degree, psychology degree, accounting degree, math degree, history, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, whatever. Those things don't limit you for other opportunities. And that's the dirty little non-secret of the world of business. What degrees do more than anything else, again, except for the specialist degrees, what degrees do is they show the potential employer that you can stick to something and finish it. It shows that you have learning flexibility, that you've learned something and that you're willing to learn. My point is this: don't limit your thinking of what you can do because you have a degree in finance or you have a degree in English or you have a degree in linguistic studies. Take that degree that you've got and explain it in a way that the value of what you have become by virtue of traveling that journey of learning can help a company. What we do at Catapult Leaders is we prepare you for the opportunities in the world outside of college and match you with companies that want what you have to offer. Another question is, how will where you want to live affect your job opportunities? Most of the major companies are global. Certainly, they're not global. They're all over the US, right? The world has gotten incredibly small from that regard. What that means is that a lot of the best job opportunities reflect that global nature of the company or the national nature of the company. If you go to school in a really small town, in a really small place, and you want to stay in that place, your chances of finding an upwardly mobile career path that can reward you handsomely is less than it might be if you are what we call location flexible. So, location flexible, if it's not so obvious, means that if you are open to living just about any place, then the number of job opportunities you have will be greater. If you're open to living in, I'm making up cities here now. If you're open to living, outside of Chicago or outside of San Francisco or outside of Phoenix or outside of Atlanta or in Tampa or in Los Angeles or in Seattle or outside of Seattle or wherever. My point is, if you're open to living in any place that gives you a great opportunity for a great start in your corporate career, you're going to have more options. Being location flexible is always our advice because then once you have the opportunities, once the job offers have been extended to you, say from different companies, then if you want to say, I can live place X or place Y, then by all means, choose whatever place you want to live. But first, be location flexible so that you get the job offers. Then choose from among your great opportunities after that. Really important distinction that everybody needs to know. Another question: how do you prepare for life in corporate America? That's part of what we do with Catapult Leaders. We get you prepared for life in corporate America. Life in corporate America is just, think of it as we're playing sports. There are different games. There's basketball, there's football, there's soccer, there's lacrosse, there's field hockey, there's bowling, there's baseball, there's, hacky sack. There are a lot of different games out there, right? Well, you don't want to be playing football, but think you're playing hacky sack. You don't want to be bowling and think you're playing tennis. Via our modules, Catapult Leaders, we take you through and you come to understand the reality of corporate America. Another question: does corporate America really want to hire people like you? And by people like you, what I mean is, does it really want to hire Black managers? Is that what it wants to do? There's been a lot of noise lately, a lot of stuff going on regarding inequality of opportunities, what's happening in the corporate world, what's happening all over the country. And I can tell you this as a person who entered corporate America a number of years ago: if you bring your full self to corporate America, if you prepare yourself while you're in college, which of course you're doing and going to do, if you look at it as like a cake, I said, it's what you make of it. If you believe in yourself and the opportunities that will be put in front of you, some of which you can't even imagine now, then yes, corporate America really wants to hire you. Things are different than they were. Are things perfect? No, and neither are you, and neither am I. But the fact is that yes, what you are and how you bring yourself to the corporation is wanted, desired, needed, and can be leveraged. Again, the key is to be prepared for the opportunities and make the most of the opportunities. The better you interview and the better your resume, the more offers you will receive and the more pay you will be offered compared to the average resume and the average person. How should you prepare for interviews? Like your corporate life depends upon it. That's the answer, because it does. If you can't present yourself well during an interview, if you can't present your background, if you can't present how you will help make that company better, if you can't present your energy, your excitement, your motivation, if you can't present that well during the interview, you're not going to get the job. So, how should you prepare? You should prepare with a plan of action based on specifics. That's what we do at Catapult Leaders. We help lead you through that. We get all the details on the jobs that are out there for you. We work with you through them. We do mock interviews, one-on-one group. We do all this kind of great, I call it great stuff, because it didn't exist when I entered the corporate world, right? It would have been great if it had. We work with you such that you are fully prepared for your interview. And then the interview happens. And you're not shocked by it. You're not thrown off track by it. Why? Because we will have practiced with you so much, giving you so much information about the specifics of the company you're interviewing with, about what they're looking for, about your value to the company. And we will work with you so that you can articulate your response to all the questions you will be asked. That we love the interview. The interview is a time where it's a championship. It's time to win the championship. This is it. Let's do this. There's kind of a mindset about doing it. You should look forward to the interview with excitement and energy. Why? Because you're giving that interviewer a chance to fall in love with your energy, your passion, your potential. Another question we get: what is the difference between a static candidate and a development candidate? And which one should you want to be? Catapult Leaders works on jobs for development candidates. Let me tell you the difference. If you join a company and they pay you based on what you know at this moment only, what you can do at this moment only, you're a static candidate. That means there's not much opportunity for upward mobility. That means there's not much opportunity for personal and professional growth in the job. That means they don't really value you the way we talk about it. That means they aren't paying you on your potential. So they're not going to pay you as much. Then there is the development candidate, which is what we focus on. These are the jobs where they're bringing you in under the notion that you're going to develop into you can develop into a really great management person who helps run the business one day at higher levels. Development, that's what that means. So that means they're going to put money and time and interest into developing you as a business leader. They're going to put money, interest, and time into developing you as a people leader. They're going to put money, time, and interest in developing you as a person who is an expert in your field. This is what a development candidacy is all about. You want to be a development candidate. You want to interview for jobs that are development candidate jobs because the money is higher because they're paying you on potential, not on what you can do now, on what they project you will be able to do based on how well you've interviewed, your background, all those kinds of things. So static candidate jobs we don't really work on. I'm not going to give any examples of those because that's not necessary. You can think of jobs that would be static candidate jobs. Think about some of your friends, they've taken jobs, they're not happy in them, they're not going anywhere, there's no upward mobility, blah, 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 blah. But most people who take static development jobs end up feeling very quickly that they've made a mistake. Development candidate jobs, just the opposite. The opportunity to grow is there, and we talk about that. We discuss that with you. You should understand that as you're working through the modules with Catapult leaders, you'll be able to dig into information to understand what the future can bring for you in a given development candidate job. So that's important. You want to be a development candidate, at least if you work with Catapult leaders. If you don't, then I get that. Let me deal with a final question here, and that is, what else should you know about the corporate world? Well, there are quite a few things else you should know. When you're in the corporate world, you'll need to be a team player, and you'll need to make friends with your peers. It's really important. You're going to need to focus on making or producing or developing quantifiable results in your position. Whatever your position is, there should be results that you can measure, and you want to focus on those things that are measurable because you want to evolve in that organization. Another thing you should know about corporate America, you can be yourself. I think that's really important to understand, especially for those of us who are Black and entering corporate America. There's a one, can I do this? Can I do that? What do you think? Let me tell you something. If you contort yourself trying to be everything but who you are, you'll never be happy. Being yourself means you're evolving, you're getting better, you're improving. We all have to get better at what we're doing. But being who you are as a person is important. It's important to your happiness. It's important to you producing the most for the organization. So really important. Another thing, one of the best things you can be when you walk the halls of corporate America is confident. Confidence is it's like a magnet. It attracts opportunities to you. It attracts people to you who can assist you in your goals. It makes people confident in you. Your confidence makes people confident in you that you can handle the position, the job. Now, you have to back that confidence up with hard work. But confidence is very important that you have. A lot of people go in meek and mild. Corporate America is not a place for the meek and the mild if you want to move up and grow in the company. The other thing you need to do in corporate America is don't be afraid to take on hard projects. I assure you that in your time in corporate America, the opportunities will come for you to take on a project that maybe nobody else wants. Maybe other people have failed at. If you take on that project and you kill it the way I know you will, you reap the rewards. Another point, always be making a contribution to the company. Don't ever be somewhere doing something and you don't see any impact. Nobody knows you're doing it. Oh, there's no impact. If you're not doing something that brings an impact, you're not doing the right things. Really important. You need to also make sure you have fun. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. It is the one journey you're taking. Whatever life holds for you, it is a singular journey. Something important for those of us who are Black in entering corporate America. Of course, I'm Black, and I suspect the vast, vast, vast majority of folks listening to this are Black as well. Don't feel as if you owe anyone an explanation for how you got there and who you are as a Black person, period. You are who you are, and that is great. As long as you know that to be true, keep going. Don't start explaining yourself to people, because those who need an explanation are probably not on your side. Another point, your talent is very important. You got talent, but your skill alone won't allow you to get into and grow a successful career. Your relationships, the relationships you have in that business and without, are vitally important. Another point, stay positive also. Super important you stay positive. There's a lot of stuff going to be going on, a lot of challenges you're going to face. You want to make sure that you're positive about it. Stay positive. It should always be, listen, it's like if you get a chance to play in the Super Bowl, you should be excited, right? Excited. You could be excited that you're there. Be positive. Believe you can win. Believe you're going to make a difference. Believe that you're in the right place at the right time. Another point, don't be afraid to ask for what you want and make sure that when you ask for it, you deserve it. Sometimes we get in situations where we don't know which side is up, right? Well, you got to ask. Asking is not a sign of ignorance, it's a sign of wanting to know. Maybe it's that you're asking for assistance you need personally. Maybe you need assistance professionally. If you ask, if you knock on the door can be answered. If you don't knock on the door, no one will ever answer it, and you'll never get what's inside. So don't be afraid to ask for what you want. A really important thing to remember too when you join the corporate world is about your network. Your network of peers, advisors, bosses. Success is about your network because your network is about your net worth. You want to make sure that you are adept at writing. Business travels on words. Words most often written. How you present yourself. Oftentimes, a document you write is the one best chance you have to compel, to convince the people who are reading what you wrote that you are the right person for the opportunity. Finally, you will be successful. Why? Because you are determined, because you are flexible, because you will develop into an even greater leader, because you will build a network of people around you who will propel you to the top. So, where does it leave us? If you've not already applied to Catapult Leaders, please do so. Go to catapultleaders.com/apply. Catapultleaders.com/apply. Or simply go to catapultleaders.com. Look at the top of the page. You'll see a tab to apply. Thank you for giving me time to share with you my thoughts on what every Black college student should know about a career in corporate America. Hopefully, you now know things you didn't know or you know about them in a different way. My goal is to tell it to you straight, to be authentic with you, and hopefully you've heard some things today that have allowed you to think of yourself in a bigger, broader way. At the end of the day, you will never rise above your own self concept. In other words, you have to believe that you can be great to become great. You have to know that in your heart, your activities, your thinking, your effort will all try to fit what is your self concept, how you really think of yourself. I want you to think of yourself in the biggest, broadest, best ways. And then I want you to get to work. So here we are, and I have two questions for you. Question number one, what have you learned about the changes you need to make to yourself in order to move forward into a great career in corporate America? And question number two, why will you succeed in your chosen career? We end as we began. Outstanding Black college students wanted for amazing journey in corporate America. High wages, challenging opportunities, long hours, change is constant, toughness required, great success, fulfillment, and sense of accomplishment are possible. Until we talk again, this has been Daryl Mobley, President, Catapult Leaders, catapultleaders.com. Enjoy life.